Are you guys excited for the new My Hero Academia movie? So am I. Let's jump into my spoiler-free review of it right now. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new My Hero Academia movie, My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission, which is going to be coming in theaters October 29th, sub and dub. Hey folks, I got a chance to check this out. One of the lucky few to see it early. This was an interesting film. I really liked it for reasons I wasn't expecting to like it. But nonetheless, I overly appreciate what this film did. Now, first thing I should say is that this film isn't canon, but we do know that the villain of this film was shown in a brief cameo in this season of My Hero Academia. So, in a sense, it's like this film is a self-contained story. It doesn't pull from the manga, it doesn't pull from the series, it pulls from the logic of what's happening in the series, but it's just its own self-contained story, which means that the creation of this one could go as far as they wanted it to go. So yes, we're going to get introduced to characters that we may or may not see return, and we're going to see things and implications that may or may not be utilized going forward. But nonetheless, the story ramifications and the results of the story is just within this story. So as we know in the previous two films, same thing, folks. I had a big heartbreak from what happened on the second film. This one didn't give me quite the same type of heartbreak, but nonetheless, it definitely did. So a few things with this one. It didn't have that big epic showdown at the end like the previous film did. Like, you gotta, let's be honest, that Deku and Bakugo fight at the end against Nine, come on now, that was just epic. And I was just waiting to see what were they gonna do in this one, because even when you had All Might and Deku in the first one, and then the second one you had Bakugo and Deku, I'm like, what are we gonna get in this one? Todoroki and Deku? But not quite, you know. So I was a little underwhelmed with that, but I do appreciate that this film was more about character, more about heart, more about seeing where Deku's gonna go as a hero, as he becomes eventually one of the biggest heroes, you know. And I think this was more of a character building and a more of a shaping of his mind and the possibilities of just how big he's gonna be. Because in this one, you have Todoroki, Deku, and Bakugo. They're facing their biggest world crisis ever. Obviously, the stakes are high here, and the reason why they're on the scene is because they've been working, doing that internship with Endeavor. And while this is all happening, you have this villain and his group of folks, his group of flunkies and whatnot, humorize who global plans to eliminate all quirks, and he's going to set off bombs all over that will eliminate or kill anybody who has a quirk. And obviously, you don't want that to happen, because that means our heroes are going to die. So that means that they got to go all around the world to figure out where these bombs are at, stop these trigger bombs so that, you know, people don't die. So the animation is fantastic. That's without a doubt. It did not give me that high tier IMAX animation. A lot of it, like I was expecting, like the previous two films did. But the animation was still good. The new moves in this was really good. Like, I mean, everybody was hitting new ultimates. And I mean, the final phase of this movie is just flat out dope. I can't even lie. It's really, really cool. The score is really dope. And then the voice acting is really good. Robbie Draymond is your villain in this one. I think he just kills it. I mean, I thought Johnny Young Bosch did a fantastic job. And then Robbie comes in and just kills it as well, too. So voice acting was good across the board. Rhodey, our new, we'll say our new ally to the heroes here, who is basically, you know, he's just a struggling guy. He wants to do whatever he can for his family, and he get caught in the crosshairs with Deku and some other certain things, and Deku now becomes target by the police because they said he murdered somebody or whatnot. But Rhodey's alongside of him, and then the two of them go on a bonding trip or whatnot, and they realize that they're one and the same, you know, and they learn a lot about each other. So there's a lot of heart between the two characters here, because we're learning more about Deku as a person, but we also learn a lot about Rhodey and who he is as a person. And that bond that they create is really strong, really powerful, really emotional, you know. So, you know, it would be a character I would love to see return. But, you know, we have to see how it happens here. But also, too, like, there's some other funny things happening here because, like, there is a microchip that could stop all of this. And in the world right now, microchips are very limited. So, like, the fact that everyone's looking for this microchip, it makes it even more funny to me because it's just like, yeah, we all need microchips for whatever reasons. You know, this has halted the protections of cars, PlayStations, cell phones, and whatnot. And the fact that the heroes are looking for the microchip because that's another thing that can stop these trigger bombs was funny. But I really did love how Deku used a lot of power in this, like a lot of his powers. He was not a crutch at all. He was out there doing his thing, and I really like that. And yeah, you know, he's facing these persons who's trying to, you know, the villain is trying to do everything for the salvation of humanity. Sounds noble, but like I feel like that he just wasn't ever a serious threat to me. I never felt by any means that our villain was a threat to all of the world. I never at one point felt like the heroes was not going to overcome this. That's my issue, because I feel like you need a very strong villain in order to really make it work with the heroes. And I think that the voicing of the hero of the villain was good, but I don't feel like the threat of the character was. I never felt like there was nothing to do. I mean, like, Nine was dope. Nine was out there doing the thing, you know, but I didn't feel the same here. But another interesting thing with this is that because you had this group of folks, Human Rise, who was after everybody who had quirks. I mean, they were targeting kids, and like the police was targeting Deku. Like, they were out here trying to kill kids for real out here. So you had adults trying to kill kids. Things got a little intense at times. And like I said, the final act where you basically had Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku versus 3 separate villains, the one-on-one squirrels that they had, it was fantastic. We were seeing them get tested. It was bloody. It was intense. And like the more and more the fight got, the deeper and deeper the fight got, the more and more abilities that we saw. And like, I don't know, man, like Bakugo, he brought it. It was dope. So I really like that. I don't know if I should even say this, but one of there's a person that a bird, should I say, Pino is really the MVP of this film. Pino is the one that is the bird that voiced by Christina V in the English dub, is the unlikely hero, the unsung hero of this. That just you'll see when you see, but. Pino was an enjoyable character that I enjoy, especially with the animation and the mannerisms and whatnot. So I want to make sure I throw that out there. But yeah, either way, I feel like that this film was good. It just wasn't what I was expecting from My Hero Academia. I was expecting like for the action to this and the animation to be next level, but they had good animation, very solid from the previous film. But this film was really about heart and the emotion of the characters and character driven that I appreciate it. That's why I enjoyed this film, because it told a different style of storytelling that we haven't really seen from the previous 2 movies, and I can get with that. Yeah, we get it. Deku wants to do everything to be or make All Might proud, but this was different. This was totally different. This had almost nothing to do with All Might in this, which is different because that's all Deku ever talks about. This one was truly about him just wanting to be the best hero he could and make his friends happy. And Rhodey was the same. He wanted to just make his family happy and just be, you know, almost like Deku. And that's why it was an interesting take on how they did that. But folks, this is My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission. You can check this out in theaters October 29th. Jump in the comments, folks. Let me know your thoughts about this when you do. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.